Have you ever noticed when you try to start doing something, somebody comes to the door? It's happened twice now. This is the third time I've tried this video, so there won't be a fourth anyway. Because I'm annoyed and I can't, it's putting me off. Now whatever. Just have to say that because I'm irritated. I've spoken about this before, twice already. But I feel like I didn't tell it properly, so here we are again, yeah, for the third time. It all started in the early 90s when a TV show called The X-Files came on to television. Maybe you know it. I was around 13 at the time. It was very popular and dealt with all aspects of the supernatural and science fiction. It was, of course, entertaining, but it was the storylines about aliens that really got my interest. I also got a book called Aliens in the Bible around this time. I was heavily invested in the subject. All the time I was thinking about aliens, talking about meeting them 24 hours a day. I got to the point that I was thinking, come and see me. It would ring through my mind all the time. And perhaps they did. Lost my place. It was always on my... I've read that, so... it was always in my mind between the ages of 13 to maybe 15 or 16. I'm not sure. It could have been older than that even. I remember one night I woke up because I heard this strange humming noise. I looked out of the window and in the sky I saw this glowing egg-like thing. It was flying in a circle. It flew past my window 3 times, then it was gone. After that, I'm not really sure how long after I started having sleep paralysis. The first time it happened, I couldn't move. Obviously, sleep paralysis, whatever. But I felt like something was in the room, though I didn't see it. It was around. I could sense it. So right, yeah, it was around this time that something major happened in my life. So we moved from that house. I went to live with my grandma, and it stopped for about 2 years. It only started again when I went to live with my mum. We actually moved into a different house first, but we weren't happy there. It was in this town that I'm not going to say the name of the town. But we got robbed 3 times in 2 weeks. So it wasn't a great place. We lived there maybe 4 months or 5 months. Then we moved to this other house. Anyway, I just wanted to add that because I didn't put it in the script. So where am I? So we moved from that house. And then I'd say it was maybe 6 months to a year before it started again. So this was like 6 months, including the 4 months we lived in this other house. And that's when we played with the Ouija board, which I'll come on to in a second, just to make it clear. Right, so... Well, that, because the thing's gone off. Sorry, I've lost my place. It was 6 months to a year before it started again. By the way, this house was also haunted. Not the first one, the second one. I didn't put it in the script about the first one that we were at for 4 months. I'm rambling now, though, so I'll go back to the script. But I'll talk about that in another video. To make it clear, I'll call that house the Crossroad House. Second house, that is. Oh great, the camera fell off. In a minute I'll have a beer and toast professionalism. Anyway, whatever. We played with the Ouija board. I'll also point out we had that as again we played with the Ouija board, but that was this is getting confusing now. We lived in a flat. We moved from that flat, and then we moved to the Crossroads house. It was in the flat that we played with the Ouija board. I only did it twice, but my mum carried on, and she was still doing it when we moved to the Crossroads house. None of this is in the script. It should be, but it isn't. Right, whatever. Anyway, I'll talk about the Ouija board in another video if you want me to, and I'll try and write a better script as well, because this one's not very good. It began again one night. I woke up, couldn't move, it was dark, I felt something was in the room, and then I blacked out. Then a month or so later it happened again. This time I struggled and felt scared but couldn't move. Then I felt like something grabbed my legs and pulled me out of bed and through the wall. I heard a sound like something scraping on plastic material, like the canvas of a tent, for example. Then I suddenly sat up in bed. It had happened again, but I'm not sure how many times. It happened again after that, sorry, but I'm not sure how many times. I can't really remember, which I can't because sometimes I wasn't properly awake. Sometimes I thought it was a dream. Maybe times happened when I don't even remember at all, I don't know. The last time it happened, I wasn't asleep in bed, but before I tell you this tale, I want to say something. One morning, my mum came to me downstairs in the kitchen, and out of the blue she said, if you're ever scared in the night, ask Jesus to help you. I didn't know then that she was being woken up almost every night, or every other night, by some kind of entity. But I'll talk about that in another video. I'll call it, just to be clear, that happened at the Crossroads house as well, by the way. But I'll make another video about that maybe. I'll think about it. If you want me to, ask me in the comment section. Anyway, back to the story. Anyway, one night I was sitting on the bed reading when I started to hear some kind of hum. I'd heard it before. I realised I'd heard it when I'd been taken, but I hadn't realised until this occasion. I'd heard it, but it was kind of like everything else was going on, and it was like I didn't notice it almost. It got louder, and the light bulb seemed to start to go dim. My dog Coco seemed to start to get agitated. Then I started to feel worried, then scared, but then my mum's words came into my mind, and I thought, why not? And I spoke them. I said out loud, Jesus help me. No sooner had I said it than it all stopped, like somebody flicking a light switch off. After that I never experienced alien abduction again, but it wasn't the end. It changed form. It was no longer alien and very definitely demonic, but I'll tell that story another time. Would you like to hear it? Let me know and ask any other questions you may have. Yeah, it was literally like you'd switch off a light switch and that's it. It's gone. It just stopped. Everything. The noise, the bulb went back to normal, and it was over. And for a while I didn't see anything. But then after we moved from that house, I've moved a lot in my life. There are reasons, and I've talked about them in other videos. I'm not going to talk about it now, but I have moved a lot, especially when I was leading up to being in my early 20s. We moved multiple times, and a lot of things happened in that house. Some of the worst things that I've ever experienced, supernaturally speaking, happened in that house. But yeah. Anyway, what am I saying? The alien abduction thing stopped then, but that stopped, but something else replaced it, and I started seeing shadows and a little cloud thing. And anyway, if you want me to make a video on that, I will. Just tell me in the comment section, and I'll write a script, but I'll make it better than this one, because it seemed okay when I read it to myself, but now I've read it out loud. I don't know. You tell me, was it any good? I don't know. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I tried to get everything in, and believe me, it wasn't easy, because whatever. Anyway, I struggle with things like this. I had a head injury. I've talked about that as well. I don't want to talk about that again. I've talked about it too many times as it is. Anyway, tell me what you think of the video. If you got anything out of it, then hopefully you did. Hopefully it wasn't total crap. If it was, sorry for wasting your time if you've got this far, but hopefully you don't think that. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching anyway, and bye for now. Bye.